what we are doing, we are looking at the definitions as provided under the Patents Act 1917. So before we move on, I'm sure we did talk about in my previous session, the law which regulates patents in India is the Patents Act 1970. And we also looked at Section 1 of the Patents Act 1970 to respond to a query which asks whether, if somebody goes out of India, or, whether Patents Act 1970 would have an extraterritorial jurisdiction. So the answer is no, because the Patents Act is only applicable within the territories of India. Now, I'm sure we are able to see on my screen, and we'll try and look at it one by one from that perspective, that section 21M. Now, these sections, again, not very relevant for us, but yes. So remembering these sections is not very relevant for us, but remembering and understanding the definition which has been provided will become very, very important for us. So we don't have to worry about it if we don't know what patents is, because the Patent Act itself defines patent, where the Patent Act defines patent to mean any invention. So what is a patent? So an invention which is protected under the Patents Act is what is patent, plain and simple. I hope we are able to understand. So what is patent? Patent is any invention which is granted or protected under the Patents Act 1970. So the next question is, what is invention? So what do we mean by invention? So, again, anyone, any idea? No idea? No problem. We'll again go back to our Patents Act 1970. And when we went to Patents Act 1970, we looked at Section 21J. So we don't have to worry at all. So Patents Act tells us what is invention. So Patents Act tells us that invention means new product or process. So what is basically an invention? Invention is nothing, but it can be either a product or a process. Now, these product and a process have certain characteristics. What are those characteristics? The first characteristic is that such product or a process should be new. Okay. Such product and a process should involve an inventive step, and such product or a process should be capable of industrial application. So there are three adjectives or three prerequisites for a product or a process to become an invention. I hope we are able to understand. What is patent? One more time. So patent is nothing, but it is an invention which is protected under the Patent Act. So patent is nothing. In protected invention is patent. Now, what is invention? Invention is nothing but a product or a process. What kind of product or a process? So such product or a process which is either new, which has inventive step, and which is capable of industrial application is what is invention. We will again come back and discuss. At this point of time, we are just limiting ourselves to understanding. Yes, Gargi, thank you. I think there is someone who has raised hand. Gargi. Can we let her talk?
Sir, can you explain what is inventive step?
Right, right. So that's what I exactly said. We will come back to it. I could do it right now, but it will just break the rhythm. We will not only just talk about inventive step. We'll first talk about what is new, that is novelty. We'll talk about inventive step, that is innovativeness, and we'll talk about capable of industrial application, that is industrial use. So these three are prerequisites for grant of any patent or for any product or process to be invention. So we'll talk about all these three, not just about inventive step. Just bear with me, hardly 15 minutes, okay? I hope you can bear that much, right? So by this time, what we have done, we have understood what is patent, we have understood what is invention, right? Now from there, the next question should be, who is an inventor? Now, the Patents Act 1970 is a little tricky about it. It does not exactly defines inventor. What does it defines? It defines true and first inventor. What it defines true and first inventor, and that too, it defines in as a negative definition. Okay, 21Y defines true and first inventor, and it defines it as a negative definition, right? What does not include as a true and first inventor? So a person who is for the first time importing the invention in India or the person to whom for the first time the invention was communicated in India will not be considered as true and first inventor. So the person who is importing or the person to whom the invention was communicated in India will not be considered as true and first inventor. I hope we are able to understand. So we have understood patent, invention, true and first inventor. Next, so what are the rights of the patentee? Now here patentee is simplistically, you'll understand patentee is what? True and first inventor, or simplistically the person who has invented. Okay. So section 48 talks about section 48.1 and section 48.2. So section 48.1 talks about what are the rights of the patentee with respect to products where products are the invention, and 48.2 talks about where the process are the invention. There is a slight difference, but we are not making any difference to keep it simple for us. So basically what patent right provides, or what are the rights of the patentee, or what are the rights of the inventor? Plain and simple. The rights of inventor includes exclusive right, means nobody else but the patentee, and patentee is usually the inventor. Now, why I am saying patentee is usually the inventor, for example, just to give you a simple example, I am a scientist, I work in a government institution. Now, if I'm using government resources, if I'm using government laboratories, and if I'm, developing a product or a process which qualify the characteristic of new, inventive step and capable of industrial use, it is an invention. But I am being paid salary by the government. I am using government resources for the purpose of development of this invention. So, who is actually who actually has the right to file for the patent of that invention? The government has the right to file for the patent of such invention, right? And the government will be the true and first inventor from that perspective. You have to understand, right? So, who gets the exclusive right? Would I get the exclusive right? The answer is no. It will be the government which gets the exclusive right. Now, the question is exclusive right to do what? Exclusive right to make such product or use such process. So you will be able to make as an rights of the patentee, you will be able to make such products. You will be able to use such products. You will be able to offer for sale such products. You will be able to sell such products. You will be able to import such products. Now, the whole idea is we talked 48.1 talks about product, 48.2 talks about process. Now, you can't make a process, correct? You can't make a process. But for ease, we have not complicated. So if you look at 48.2, it just drops the word make. Rest, you can use a process, you can offer for sale a process, you can sell a process, you can import a process. But when we talk about product, you can make a product, you can use a product, you can offer for sale a product, you can sell a product, you can import a product. So that's the slight difference. I hope we are able to keep up with me. And then finally, what is the term for the patent? So section 53 tells us that the term for the patent is plain and simple 20 years. Now for copyrights, we would have understood the term of the copyright is lifetime of the author. Now this is again something which we would have picked in copyright. Who gets the right? The author gets the right. Here, who gets the right? Inventor gets the right. Okay, so for copyright, it's the life term of the author plus after his death from next year, 1st of January, 60 years protection. Plain and simple, right? When we talk about trademark, so like we talked about trademark and trade secrets, they are no limit, right? So in trademark, you can always renew your registration, trademark registration every 10 years, and you can keep doing that. But you can't do it for patent. Patent, so when you have invented something, how much protection do you get, or for how much period you could exploit your patent? You can exclusively exploit your patent by making it, using it, offering for sale, selling, or importing it for 20 years. Now, what happens after 20 years? So after 20 years, the patented product or the process becomes generic. Now, I'm sure we have heard about generic medicines, generic goods, generic processes. What does this generic means? Generic means which is accessible to one and all. Anyone in the public can use that good or can manufacture that good or use that process without payment of any license fee. Okay. So this is something which you have to understand. So what it becomes, it's generic. There is no exclusivity which is available to you after 20 years. So very quickly, what we have understood, what is patent? Patent is nothing but it's an invention. What is invention? Invention is nothing but it's a product or a process. What it is? It's a product or a process. Now this product and a process, whether every product and a process be an invention, the answer is no. Every product and a process which shows one, novelty, second, inventive step, and third, feature of capable of industrial use. If you fulfill these three criteria, then such product and process will be invention. Now, who will consider to be the true and first inventor of that product or a process or an invention? We have already talked about. The definition is not very clear. It's incomplete and it's a negative definition where it says the individual who is importing an invention for the very first time will not be the true and first inventor, and the individual to whom that invention is communicated for the first time in India will not be the true and first inventor. Now, what are the rights of the patentee? Section 48. It talks about right to make, right to use, right to offer for sale, right to sell, and right to import. What is the term of the patent? 20 years. What happened after 20 years? The patented product or a process becomes generic. Now, the big question is, we talked about that the patent protection is for 20 years, correct? And now, there are different dots which you are able to see. For any invention, there could be a date of idea. So I thought about an idea that, using my idea, I'll develop a product or a process. So idea for a product or a process. So say for that matter, today I developed an idea for a product, hypothetical example, internal combustion engine which runs on water, hypothetical, right? Now, same day, say today we are sitting on 16th March 2024. So 16th March 2025, I actually invented. So it took me 1 year to invent this engine which can run on water, right? Now, say for that matter, on 16th July 2025, I filed a patent application for my engine which can run on water, and say for that matter on 16th March 2026 the patent was granted to me. Okay, so what do you think, when does this 20-year protection begins? From the date of the idea, from the date of the invention, from the date of filing of the patent application, or from the date of the grant of the patent? Yes, anyone would like to make comment? Okay. If none, anybody would like to speak, can they raise their hand? Otherwise, I'll quickly move forward. So the 20-year protection begins from the date of filing of patent application. Now, it's, that's the usual, Anshika, that's the usual presumption that from the date of the grant of patent, I will get 20 years protection, patent protection. The answer is no. From the date of filing of the patent application. So even, it might take anywhere between 6 months to at times 18 years from the date of filing of application. So the period from here to here can take anywhere between 6 months to 18 years, as long as 18 years. Just imagine, right before the patent is about to become generic or the patent protection is about to lapse, you are granted patent. Okay. Or, the fastest is, I believe, 113 days or 110 days, somewhere around that. So, in India, when we talk about, so that is the fastest patent. So, that's around 3 to 4 months, but I'm still saying on an average, the fastest is around 6 months, the farthest is around 18 years. So the 20-year protection is not from the date of the grant of patent, but it is from the date of patent application. So from the date on which you file your patent application, your clock of 20-year protection begins.